Okay.
Hi, everybody. Yes, it's been a kind of a rough couple of months, and we've tried to manage it as well as we can. We are able to move some of our manufacturing away from China, but we still have a lot of product that's stuck in China because we can't get it out with these incredibly high tariffs. We have done, we have taken a few containers worth of stuff, even with these kind of margin destroying tariffs, because we wanted to get you guys, especially in the specialty toy industry, a little bit like a sampling of our new product, because we did a lot of really nice, beautiful new things. And we think that the marketplace is going to really value and need to see some freshness. And so we hope that eeBoo can provide that. So we can't bring it all in. We probably have very limited stock on a number of these items, but we wanted the people, especially people coming into Astra and our specialty guys, to start the year off with just a little bit of cheerfulness. And in that same vein, we decided, we thought maybe we'd go to just a pure digital catalog, but we think that physicals catalog was, although it's an expensive thing, I think it's a nice and cheerful, hopeful thing to have this in front of you. And I think this catalog is particularly nice. And of course, wanted to remind everybody that we are still, I think, a very good, nice, wholesome brand. And that, you know, we support, between our eeBoo product and our Peace and Love product, we support a lot. We support a lifetime of empathy, creativity, and curiosity, and authentic communication amongst people of different generations and amongst children. And so I think all of our products you'll like very much. And we did 73 new things this season. We have 3 new categories, a lot of new holiday product. In eeBoo, we have 36 new products, and in Peace and Love, we have 23 new products. So I can start with, how does this work? Okay, hi, everybody. So I'm going to start with this fall stuff. So I don't know, like a year and a half ago, it became clear that like fall was almost a holiday in and of itself. So we thought we would do some Halloween stuff and some just very fall things. So we did a puzzle with an American artist named Cynthia Cliff, and this is apple picking. Just a nice puzzle, and it's got lots of detail and lots of fall colors. And then we did this really wonderful one called Fall in Brooklyn by an artist named Laura L. And it's got a bookstore, which I know that a lot of our stores like the bookstore, and it's slightly kind of witchy with the tea and tarot, but it's a nice Brooklyn scene. And that's called Fall in Brooklyn. And then this is like our little hero of the season, a little shaped house box that's by an artist in Texas named Callie Carls. And it's got tons of detail and almost this like 1950s, 1960s animation cell colors. And this is a 100-piece puzzle, and it makes a nice size puzzle. Luckily, this one is taped together. Of course, all our puzzles always have a print on the back. Our puzzles have a piece of printed paper on the front with the central image. And then on the back, we have another printed sheet. And so we sandwich our recycled gray board beneath these 2 printed sheets, so they're extra sturdy, and our puzzles have no dust, which is very nice, especially with the adult puzzles that have much smaller pieces. So that's the little Halloween puzzle that people seem to be very excited about. Then, using the artwork from that puzzle, we did these nice, very shiny Halloween stickers that people are pretty excited about. And I'm sorry if all of you guys have heard this a billion times, but I think one of the nice things about our little sticker sheets makes them different than others is, first of all, there are a ton of them. There are like over 200 of them in there. And in every packet, we have stickers in 3 different sizes. So these are the little ones. And then we have like sort of medium sized stickers. And then we have some like a couple pages of giant ones. Cause I think sometimes you need a little sticker, and sometimes you need a medium sticker, and sometimes it's nice to have a really big sticker. So these are the Halloween stickers by Callie Quarles. And that is our Halloween stuff. For our Christmas stuff, we did, I think, a ton. So I'll start with our singular round puzzle, which is by Hazel Jarvis. who's an English artist. And this one is a dog in cookies at Christmas time. 500 piece. We did two really nice 20-piece puzzles that we always do well with at holidays. This is Emily Sutton, who is a great, like, very up-and-coming English young artist. And this one is Yumi Kirigishi. And Yumi, we've done a ton of stuff. I'm sure you recognize her work. So these are two really cute puzzles. As you always see on the back of our children's puzzles, it always shows the actual size of the piece. So even though this is a small box and it's still a bargain, even with our small increase in price, even though the boxes are kind of small, the puzzles themselves are very large. And again, they're always printed on two sides, and they're very, very, very sturdy. They are not, we did not try to save money by reducing the quality of our stuff, which hopefully will never, ever happen. So even with the financial things that we're under right now, we're really trying to maintain the quality of our artwork and design and manufacturing. And this is the Yumi one, which is nice and has got lots of little funny little characters on it. So that's our little children's one. Okay, so then this is like a big one that everyone really, really loves. It's this thing that the Good Toy Group took. And we made ours, I mean, I know that there are other little house-shaped puzzles, but we made ours to look like a little Main Street, which I think is really nice and kind of heartwarming in these moments to think about a nice Main Street where everybody gets along. And so these are 100-piece puzzles. They come in these like really sweet little boxes. And there's a little biscuiterie and a toy shop and a bookshop. I don't know if you guys are seeing this backwards, but I am. Bookshop and a little hardware store. And they all sit in this nice little display. And the display itself, which can sit on a counter, is really nicely designed. So it looks like two little side streets. These are really sweet. And the puzzles have 100 pieces, but they're kind of adult-sized pieces. So they make a little diminutive puzzle about this size, but this gives you a little comparison of the size of the box versus the size of the puzzle. These are Ute Krugman. She's a German artist. She's done a lot of stuff for us. I think she just did a really beautiful job. And each one of the puzzles has a slightly different palette. There's a green, a pink, and a blue one. I love the hardware store, actually. So that's these guys. Really nice. And then we have 6 new 1,000-piece puzzles for Peace and Love. This one of Central Park, this is actually one of my favorite. I'm a 5th-generation New Yorker. This is one of my favorite places, if not my favorite place in all of New York City, which is Bethesda Fountain, which is in the center of Central Park. When I was a kid, it was in terrible shape, but now it's really beautiful. And although you're really not allowed to skate on this pond that's right here, when we were young, we did very early in the morning and late at night, and that was super fun. So this is Bethesda Fountain, and by Victoria Krylov, who is a Russian artist, a young Russian artist who has recently won just a ton of awards for her illustrations. She does a lot of New Yorker covers. This is another Uta puzzle. This is a Scandinavian kitchen, and I mean a Scandinavian Christmas kitchen. You can see the little kids with their candle hats and lots of nice stuff going on in the windows and a nice cozy warm Scandinavian scene. So that's by Ute Krugman. This is a great one. I think this is a great one. This is Victoria Ball, who did the English Cottage series. So we did the English Cottage, then we did the Blue Kitchen, which was the kitchen inside the cottage. Then we did her backyard English hedgerow. Then we did the town, like a green market. Oh no, it was a Christmas market, but in the town, you could see that there was a little bakery. So this is the little bakery in that town. And with all the Victoria Ball stuff we do in this English Cottage series, we always feature this little tiger, which I think is very sweet, but this has lots of detail and it's beautiful, beautifully colored. And all of Victoria Ball's puzzles always do really, really nicely. So that's the bakery. One of our best-selling puzzles for the entire time we have had puzzles. One of our very first puzzles was Paris in a Day, and it still is remarkably one of our very best puzzles. This is almost the same scene, but by the same artist, Jennifer Orkin Lewis. But this one is in the snow. And so I think this one is bound to be very popular as well, since people really, really, really love the original Day in Paris. This is a new artist for us. Well, actually, I think not quite brand new, but kind of new. Bex Perkin, and she's an English artist. And these are English songbirds and wildlife around this nice big, very brimming full of decorations and presents Christmas tree. This is Bex Perkins. This is also going to make a very fun puzzle to do because you can do each individual bird on its own. So I think that's a good nice family puzzle. And finally, this is the one that was in the Good Toy group, which I mean, I think it's really great. This is a English artist that lives in the countryside, as a lot of our artists do. Her name is Vanessa Bowman, and she tends to just paint things right outside her door, well, in her house, outside her door, and very sometimes in the town. I don't know how accurately these towns are rendered from the town that she lives in, but we have we commissioned this and did a sketch and told them to include an antique store and a bakery. And so this is our original, we did an original sketch for her and she painted this for us, as that's the process that we do with most of our art. I think of a concept or something that I think our audience would be interested in. I think of an artist that would probably render that pretty nicely. And then we do a sketch for them and we send it to them. They send us a sketch back. We say, okay, or change this. They add color. And we go back and forth and we tweak things to make sure that when someone is actually sitting down to puzzle, the puzzles are not too easy and not too difficult. And for that, the way we do that is when we get a final piece of art, we lay down the die line on top of it that we show the artist and we say, we think that, like, you won't see them here, so I can't point out an area that would be weak. But if, let's say there was a big blue sky and we said, this is the die cut over the big blue sky, they're going to be like 16 pieces and they're all going to be blue. And that's going to make somebody really miserable. So please, can you put a bird, or can you make the buildings higher, or can you put a mountain there or a hill there? So we really work hard. And if you look at our reviews, with which we have many, 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 which we get every day, people always say challenging but fun. And I think that describes the level that we want to design our puzzles at. We want them to be challenging but fun. And it is amazing how many times people use those exact words to describe our puzzles. And when we make one that's too challenging, everybody tells us about it. And then we say we're sorry. So that's this one. And it's called Christmas in the Square. So that's the end of the holiday, the seasonal part. So I'm going to jump right into eeBoo, where we have a really nice and exciting new format. It's not new to people that have known eeBoo for a million years, but if you haven't known us for a million years, these are new. These are oil pastels. And I personally love oil pastels. I think they're amazing. They're really nice to work with. So this is the rainbow one that goes with kind of our sort of generic sounds generic, but more sort of our non-narrative packaging for art supplies. And I think it's beautiful. And inside, oh, this one's taped, so I'll show you the inside. This is a Yumi one, and I'll show you the inside of this. This is what the pastels look like, and they're really nice quality. And so we did a Yumi one, Yumi Kitakishi, and we did a sketchbook to match. I think this is just really bright and pretty and would look good in any store imaginable. And then we did our rainbow one with a rainbow sketchbook. And I think this looks great. And this can actually, I think, perfectly go as a kid, for a teenager, for an adult, for your mom, for anybody, for your dad. I think these are just nice, ageless, beautiful packaging. And we did a little series of Sarah Walsh, who's an artist from St. Louis. We did a series of fawn and kind of forest and fawn, slightly psychedelic-y looking. I mean, psychedelic doesn't really describe it. They're very, very sweet, but they have very nice color and a lot of organic shape. And it has a capybara on the back and a flamingo. And we just think this art is really cheerful and hopeful and nice. And we did a block journal, and we did a beautiful double-sided pencil, and we did a nice big sketchbook. I think what you're going to see here for the next moment or two is that we really went into our pencil category. We had had a lot of SKUs that had been around for a while, and we really tried to refresh it. So we're going to get rid of a few of the old ones, but we've brought in a ton of new stuff, and we've tried to make a nice scan between an older kid and a younger kid, and skinny pencils and not skinny pencils. So this one doesn't have a sketchbook, but we had shark pencils, but they were big and fat for kind of a younger kid. These are shark pencils for an older kid, and or an adult. These are double-sided, metallic and fluorescent. And the metallic, if you've ever tried our pencils, are metallic, are really put on color really well. And it's a very soft lead, so you can really cover, and it's really shiny. And our fluorescents, which sometimes can be kind of weak, our fluorescents are really nice. So this is a nice shark pencils that can go with all the rest of our shark stuff for summer. And these will be coming in. We redid our space pencils and sketchbooks because we thought that needed to change. So this artwork is by Uta Krugman, and it's very bright and vivid and very graphic. And again, these are our metallic and fluorescents. These are 12 pencils. The other ones are 24. But these, especially the fat ones, really lay on color really, really nicely, especially these metallics. So that's the space set. I love these two blues together, and the yellow looks really nice to me. To me, much fresher. Then we did, in addition to our little 5x5s and our fluorescent metallic, an under the sea porpoise, slightly younger, not scary like a shark, a little bit more friendly, the dolphin and the dolphin pencils. It's got a little shark on the back. If you just want like a little shark. Then we did, we took a clip from our new Tell Me a Story cards, which is called Magical Forest. And we've sort of heard that girls and dragons, or dragons and girls and dragons, are kind of trending. So we took our little queen from our Tell Me a Story cards, and we made these nice fat pencils and this nice cheerful dragon. And I don't know, in all of eeBoo illustrations, I always want there to be nice interactions between the characters in every illustration, or I either want them to be interacting with each other in the picture, like they live in one happy forest where like everybody's pretty much friends, or I want them like looking out at the audience, the person that's using the product, because I think kids really like to see that connection. And I think that's something that's very different about our illustration than some of the digital stuff that you see out there, is that we really can make the conscious choice to use sensitive illustrators and artists that really know how to depict that type of a relationship. They're not like big animals with big people with big, like blank, starey eyes. They're really people that are characters, dragons, people, whatever, that are trying to kind of, I don't know. I think kids sense this and they see it. And I think inside of them, that makes them feel nice to have that happening, whatever. That may be just me, but that's something I wanted to say this time, which I never usually say. Then we, we've been killing it with mushrooms season after season after season. So we did these. I think these are really beautiful. I think that red mushroom is just like out of this world. So these are double-sided pencils. These can be for kids that like mushrooms, or more likely for women that like mushrooms or men that like mushrooms. So these are double-sided, just regular or regular, really good quality 24 color pencils in an inexpensive box and an inexpensive sketchbook with really nice paper that just makes a really beautiful gift. I think any time of the year, but especially the summertime and the fall. And I think just looks really great, like on a shelf. It's just beautiful. It's got pinks in the ground and the red. I think lovely. Okay, so those are the pencils. Those are a lot of pencils. Now I'm going to start on the children's jigsaw puzzles. So we have this Love of series. We did Love of Bees, Love of Bats, Love of Bugs, love of Nocturnal Animals, Love of Seahorses and Slugs, Love of Sharks. And the idea behind the Love of series was that we were going to profile a group or groups of animals that people maybe don't like because they're yicky or they're scary or they bite or they're slimy, but they're very important to our ecosystems, and they're very beautiful, and they do wonderful things, and they're part of our world, and it's important to protect them. And I strongly believe that if kids learn about animals and they know how to name them and recognize them and learn about them, that they will grow up to be adults that want to protect them. And it'll just make them better human beings, and they'll be more aware of the wildlife around them, which is so very important for so many reasons. So this is a new one, and I think it's really beautiful. This has got a great, I mean, who doesn't like octopuses? But this has also got like, well, we were going to call it cephalopods, but we thought maybe that would be a little bit hard for people. So this is Octopi and Friends, but it's all different kinds of cephalopods. And all these great octopuses doing their amazing hiding camouflage routines. And then of course, inside of all our Love of 100-piece puzzles, there's a poster that you can put on the wall if you particularly like the art. And it also tells you, on the box, it doesn't identify everything by name, but on the poster inside. And then on the back, like with all of our puzzles, we always show the actual size of the piece. And I just think this one with this great big red guy in the center is really great. This is Uta Krugman. Then we did 2 new giant puzzles, and they're really giant. I mean, the piece is giant. I mean, I don't know, you can't really tell because this kid's hand is little, but the pieces are like this big, and they're very sturdy. And this is by a new artist that we're working with, named Katie
Vernon.
Vernon. Sorry, Katie Vernon. And I thought this was a very funny piece of hers because it's all animals, little and big, and it has next to them kind of the sounds that they make, but some of them are very funny. And it makes a very big giant puzzle, and there's so many different kinds of animals. And it's very fun as an adult to do a puzzle with a kid like this, where you can actually make the sound and have the kid make the sound. And I think it will be a nice kind of bonding brain moment where kids are thinking about animals and sounds, but not the usual cow, sheep, chicken one. So I love that. And then this is our other giant one, which is like the other alphabet one we did, but these are all dinosaurs. And these dinosaurs all have very complicated names that are very hard to pronounce, but we have a pronunciation guide. And I often say this when I talk about dinosaurs or big words generally. I think kids get a lot out of learning very big, complicated words, and they take pride in it. And if they take pride in it and they learn them, it gives them confidence, and that confidence kind of seeps out into other things that they do, and it inspires them to learn other things that might be a little bit more difficult. And I mean, it's like almost like currency. A kid that knows a lot about something is something that they can talk to adults about or talk to other kids about. And it kind of gives them a point of connection besides like something they saw on TV. So this is a giant dinosaur puzzle, and it's really gigantic. Do we have I have one. You can see how giant it is. Sorry. So this is how giant the dinosaur one is, and it's really great colors, and it's got a really beautiful pattern on the back. So this is Sarah Walsh, who is from St. Louis, and these are all really great dinosaurs. And then just for show you, this is the Katie Vernon, and you can see how big that is. And this, I mean, we don't always say that our Love ofs are giant. We don't say it on the packaging, but they are actually really giant and lovely. So that's them. So now I'm going to show you the little 20-piece puzzles. So we did a number of them this year. We did a little Yumi one, like a little Main Street one. We did a lovely little Victoria Ball one. And we did the dinosaur alphabet as a little guy, just in case that's what somebody wanted. Again, we always put the piece size on the back. They're nice big puzzles. They're always printed on two sides. They're exceedingly sturdy. So this is the Yumi. And this is the Victoria Ball. And this is the dinosaurs. So those are all super nice. And then one more little thing left for dinosaurs, which is we did a new assortment of mini puzzles. And we find that we really do well with mini puzzles. Who knows what this next fourth quarter is going to bring and whether people are looking for really inexpensive things or medium things. But this is a really nice, inexpensive gift that is very substantial. And I find that a lot of other puzzles that are made in really tiny boxes like this are kind of cheesy quality. Ours are definitely not cheesy quality. They are made exactly the same as our other larger, more expensive puzzles. They've got printing on the back, printing on the front. The board is very sturdy. The pieces are a little bit smaller, but very, easy to do for a little kid. These are 36-piece puzzles, and there are 4 of them. In this collection, there's kind of the classroom shot, the school shot, the candy store, the bakery, and my favorite theme always is the birthday party. So those are 4 little Yumi puzzles in this really nicely designed display. And I think we always design our displays as nicely as we possibly can so they look really great on a counter. And there's always nice little detail around the sides and on the top. So that's the Yumi mini puzzle assortment. I think we have 3 more assortments, but we have a Victoria Ball assortment. These are her little forest animals that she made for us. So there are 4 different styles of these guys, pencils. Very nice for summer or for any time or for stocking stuffers. So these are our 12 mini pencils, and they're all really, really good quality. That's the same quality pencil in the mini pencil as in the adult pencils, and they are really, really great quality pencils. Also in like a really nice display with everything designed. So we did the little pencils and we did little sketchbooks to match them. So I think this is going to look beautiful on a counter and on the floor. And then no, not even the last assortment, like kind of the penultimate one. We've had this little assortment of mini matching games that are very inexpensive for a very long time years and years, and we just gave it a complete refresh. So in this assortment, in this little brick, for anyone that doesn't know what our bricks do, I think everybody should, but our displays come like this, like a little brick. And then when the store gets them, they go like this and they tuck that in and it becomes a display like that. So we did 4 styles. We did a little butterfly one with Monica Forsberg butterflies. We did a dinosaur one by Linda Black. A fairy tale, or like funny little fairy tale creatures, and a wildlife. So I think these are really nice for a summer pickup, for a pickup item or stocking stuffer or anything. We've always done well with these, but now I think they really look totally great. And just to give you an idea of the size, this is how big the chips are. Again, they're not cheap at all. I mean, they're thinner than our great big boxes, but they're still very thick and they're sturdy and they're shiny. And I think that this was a really big upgrade on these guys. And they all have different backs in case you want to buy more than one set and mix them up. Beautiful butterflies. So those are They're very nice. So those are the mini memory games. Okay. We did very well. Maybe all of you know this, but we did very well, I believe, with those Yumi mini cards. We seem to have reprinted them and sold them and sold them. So we went back and we did another set with Katie Vernon. And these are just funny little animals, and they are funny little sets of cards. They come in a display like this. Cute. There's a little description of the artist on the back. We've got a possum and a squirrel and an axolotl and a pigeon, seem to be trending, and a pig and a raccoon. Nothing really tying these animals together in any way other than they're really sweet. And yeah, so I can't open one of these right at this moment, but they are the little tiny, let's see, oh, maybe I can. So, and again, our cards are really tiny. And a lot of times people make little tiny cards, but they use really crappy paper. We do not. These are not just regular old crappy paper. This is really nice card stock. So you can shuffle these guys. We made our own face cards, and they show different ethnicity royalty. And so that's the little thing. And they make a nice, I don't know, I think you can't hear this, but they make a nice snappy card sound. So that's the Katie Vernon mini card set. Then we made, a lot of people asked for this, so I hope you guys like it. We made 3 sets of regular old playing cards that you can just buy in their regular size, and they're in a soft cover box, like a regular card box. And sorry, what? The bottom? Oh, I got it. Sorry. This is just a regular game, you know, beautiful deck of cards. And it's on really good, regular old playing card, snappy blue core paper. And the boxes are beautifully designed. And these 2 are both by Monica Forsberg. There's a butterfly and a dragonfly. And they come in this nice little point of purchase display that comes as a brick and turns into the little display. Customer gets it like this, nice and neat. And they just pop this up and stick it in there, and makes a nice little display, beautiful on the shelf. Again, we put the biography of the artist on the back because we really want to emphasize that we are using great artists and we're commissioning original art for every single product that we do, and that we give every single product that we make a lot of thought and go back and forth with artists to make them the best they can be. So this is another Katie Vernon. This is a cat and a dog. And like this, and they got that. It's Katie Vernon. And then we did these beautiful ones, which are a dragon and a unicorn. And I think this is a really beautiful set. I love this, the green and the purple together. And we tried to make 3 sets that had some kind of relationship between the 2 decks, so that if someone wanted to buy cards for a game that required 2 decks, they'd have 2 nice kind of matching but not matching sets. So this is the sort of medieval magical creatures decks. So that's it. I have a new format. I mean, not like a wildly new format, but I have new dominoes that are in these, I think, insanely beautifully designed boxes. They're quite small. This one's got like a rainbow silver foil, and this one's got a rainbow gold foil. And the dominoes are regular size, but they come in this diminutive box. So it makes just a really nice, quick gift for an adult or an older child or a younger child. I think they're really beautiful. I think these are designed by an Italian guy, who is just, I think he's just a brilliant designer. His stuff is just beautiful. Looks very Italian too. And this is the space one. And the colors are beautiful, these purples and blues. And they're very thick, like I wanted our dominoes to have that same, make that nice click that when you use a wooden domino, you get like clack, 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 clack. And I don't know if you could hear that, but that's what these dominoes make. And they have a little bit of the foil on them. And that's, then we have a whole bunch of dinosaur stuff. So we did nicely with our first set of blocks. So we decided to do another set of blocks. These are picture blocks, so you can turn them to make 6 different puzzles, but these are all dinosaurs. And on the back, you can see all the different ones. There's the Ankylosaurus and the Brontosaurus, and these are, the blocks look like this, and they are obviously 6-sided, and you can make 6 different regular dinosaurs, or you can mix them up and make any crazy thing you want. But that's our dinosaur, and I've never seen anything like this, and I think it's really cute, and I think it makes a really nice baby gift for anybody. Then we did a head-to-toe dominoes with dinosaurs. We've had this funny little product in our line forever, which was head-to-toe dominoes, and every year it just sells like, it's not like a barn burner, but it always sells, and we've never dropped it because it just sells nicely every year. So we decided to build on that and do a dinosaur one. So this one you can play like regular dinosaurs, or just like a matching game where you're trying to fit. Just happen to have like no head or tail. Oh yeah, here, like you're trying to match the head to the tail. And so you can play it like dominoes, or you can play it just like a matching game, or almost like a little puzzle. That's head-to-toe dominoes, and those are great for little kids. One more dinosaur product. We did dinosaur bingo with this very like sassy new design on the cover. This artwork is Sarah Walsh, and I love this one because you get 6 different cards and 36 dinosaurs. And when you play the puzzle, I mean, when you play the bingo game and you get our cotton bag, because our bingo games always come with a cotton bag. If you pull out a chip and you have this guy, which I do not have on that card, but I do on this one, you learn the name. You say, I've got that. It's a Rebagakurosaurus. And these names, like I said, are impossible, but there's a nice pronunciation guide, and it's a nice thing for adults to figure out. And I don't know, I think it's nice for kids to know these crazy names. And I think kids love to know these crazy names, and there are a lot of them. So the boards are really beautiful. The artwork's really bright and pretty. It can be for any kid. I think a really young kid who's just matching the picture, or a slightly older kid. And I think it's got a great look to it. It's very modern and bright, and the quality is great, and it comes with a beautiful cotton bag. And I think it's just I'm really glad that when we were doing this line, we tried to keep everything really bright and pretty and clean. And I think it's going to be a relief for people to see these at Astra and on the shelves this holiday. We have a new game. We have a new Slips and Ladders, a Dragon Slips and Ladders game. It has an Oppenheim Platinum Award because it was a game that we had done a long time ago, but we redid it in our shaped box. The board itself is great. And, you know, Shoots and Ladders which is what this is, Slides and Ladders, Shoots and Ladders, is a very, very simple game. It was developed hundreds of years ago. It requires really no skill, but no skill, requires no skill. You have a nice dice, a die, which is nice purple wooden die, and you move around, and when you get to the bottom of a ladder, you go up, and if you land on a slide, you go down. But there are really nice characters here. There are jesters and kings and queens and dragons and knights and wizards. And I think just when you have to slide down one of these foily slides, it doesn't seem quite as awful. And our games fold up like this, and they go into the box. And then these are your pieces. No plastic, nice recycled cardboard, vegetable-based inks, FSC certified paper. FSC certified paper means that not only was a community not harmed by the extracting of those materials to make that paper, but the communities where the paper came from actually was helped by the manufacture of the paper. So that's what it means when you see an FSC logo. It means that that paper, which costs quite a bit more money, was carefully developed in a community that it assisted. So now, sorry, just a little bit more to go. I have peace and love stuff. And for peace and love, we went ahead, we felt like the response to our tubed pencils, our 50 color tube pencils, was quite nice. And our response to the Alchemist series has been unbelievable. People come on our direct to consumer site, I know, and they'll order every single one of them in this series. She really has Vasilisa Romanenko, who is a very young Russian artist, definitely has a fan base, and it's kind of witchy and sciency, and I don't know, she's great. So we did a tube. We did one of our hardcover sketchbooks, which I think are a great bargain, even with our slight price increase. There's really good quality paper. It's nice and thick, and it's a really nice price. So now these two guys can be merchandised together with or without the nice puzzles. And we also did a notebook, one of our beautiful foil stamped, slightly flexible journals with lined paper. So that's our little Vasilisa collection. And we did one other collection, which was the Hazel Jarvis mushrooms. So we did the sketchbook and we did the tube of pencils. Again, the quality of our colored pencils is unassailable. They're really great. They're as good as any pencils by any art company. This is what our double-sided pencils look like. They're 50 colors. They've got this wonderful foil stamping. When you take the top off of these pencils, they spread out in a very nice way. They look beautiful on your desk. It's a really beautiful gift, and it's very reasonable. And even the two of them together make a beautiful housewarming or back to school or anything gift. It's lovely. So that's those are the pencils. And then we did a new for the pastels, we did the children's version. Well, it's children's version. We did a smaller version of 24 pencils, and these are the smaller ones are 36, and then we did one larger pack that was sort of meant more for adults, and these are 50 colors. And this artwork is and they're 50 colors, and they're really beautiful quality. And with these, we did a beautiful sort of seaside, beautiful pattern on the back. Lee Foster Wilson is this artist, and she's English, and it's a beautiful set together. Everyone loves her artwork. And then last but not least, for colored pencils, we did this beautiful Hazel Jarvis set of watercolor pencils and a watercolor pad. Which I think this artwork is incredible. I love it. I love the pink with that grayish blue. Oh, no, I was not telling total truth, because we also did a bunch of new Victoria Ball products that merchandise together with the existing stuff, which was this pencil tube we did last season. And we did these little books last season. And we did the sketchbook last season. But this year we've added this really beautiful, inexpensive journal with the foiled edges and the foiled sides. And we did the same with Flora Waycott. We did incredibly well. We sold out immediately of her pencils. Flora Waycott, she's from Australia. Sketchbook, pencils, but we did this beautiful journal with this beautiful purple foiled edge. I don't know. I think this stuff is really, really pretty. And then we did the 3 little books last year too. But now it's a whole thing that will look beautiful displayed on any table anywhere. So I think the last thing is I'm going to just breeze through these 1,000-piece puzzles. We did a Monica Forsberg round seahorse seashell puzzle. which I think is going to be a really fun puzzle because you can do each one of these things separately. We did this beautiful collage by a woman named Claire Borsch, who is American living in Germany. And she does these room-sized art pieces with animals and flora and all kinds of stuff. And she's an environmental activist, but this is her means of expressing her artwork, is to call attention to the beauty and interconnectedness of all these fantastic things on the planet. So this is Claire Borsch. And then for our 1,000-piece puzzles, we have this funny cupboard of English crockery by Debbie George, who is a new artist for us. She's English. This is Emily Sutton, who I think is an incredible artist. This is a Victorian kitchen, and it's got lots and lots of detail things on the shelves. I love her work. And all these artists are actual painters and drawers. There's not a lot, there's very little digital stuff in here. Sometimes they're digitally enhanced, but these artists are primarily like actual using their hands to make this art. This is Vanessa Bowman, who did the Christmas one, which I think is nice. This is kind of a harvesty fall one. This is Melissa Sweet of olden times. Maybe people remember Melissa Sweet and how much stuff we used to have by her. This is just a collage of flowers. Not just a collage of flowers, a collage of flowers. This is a great artist that we just started using, Jennifer Potter, and this is Kyoto. This is Flora Waycott of the pencils and sketchbooks and other things, but this is her second puzzle for us with lots of detail and these beautiful imaginary moths and night butterflies. This is also a new artist for us named Clara McAllister. And I believe she's Brazilian, but her last name is McAllister. And I think she lives in Spain. And this is her nocturnal garden. These are all flowers that would be in what they call a moon garden, and some beautiful owls. This is going to be a hard puzzle, but we did whatever we could to go in and make it as pop up all the individual colors and change the greens. So if you have to be a pretty good looker to do this one, but I think it's going to be a little less hard than it looks. It's beautiful with owls. People love owls. This is called Stone Fruit, and this is Malin Galvinson, who we work with a lot. She's a Swedish artist, and this has got birds and butterflies and dragonflies. And I don't know, we kept getting asked for puzzles with fruit in it. So this is stone fruit. And then it's got a bunch of nice stuff like up on this sort of Etruscan hills in the background. Tuscan hills. This is Hazel Jarvis. This is the piece that the pencils and sketchbook watercolor pad came from. This is just a beautiful piece with a lot of detail and will look really beautiful in any store this summer, or for people, or any place that's not New England, where it's nice and shelly all year long. So that's Hazel Jarvis. And I think last is kind of the big exciting one for us, which is the latest installment in the Vasilisa Romanenko Alchemist series. And this is Alchemist's Greenhouse. So this has got all the characters and people and things that are in her other ones, including the raccoon, and also maybe simultaneously herself as a child and as an adult. But what's wonderful about this is that also all the plants are identified. Her puzzles just sell and sell and sell. People love them. They're really intrigued with it. We did the Masquerade last year. We've got the Alchemist Library, the Alchemist Cabinet, the Alchemist Home, the Alchemist Garden, the Alchemist Kitchen. So she's been a really strong seller for us, and people really identify her. And I think the idea of these series and narratives in puzzles has really caught on. So we have the Kitchen series. I think has been very good for us. So we have the Alchemist series, we have the Kitchen series, we have the English Cottage series, and we're working on a bunch of other series. We have a travel series, but now we're working on a whole bunch of new ones for next season. So we're going to start whole new narrative threads. So I think, thank you for bearing with me. That was a lot of product, but thank you. And I'd love to take